what's up? Welcome to our house. It's been a while since our last tour video, and I can't wait to show you all my favorite smart devices and automations I'm using around here. As you probably know, I set up everything myself, so anyone could do any of this stuff. There's a lot to go over, so let's get started here in the family room. So here in the family room, we have the frame TV, and it's the 2021 version that's 65 inches. It doesn't have high specs, but we really like this TV because it displays art when the TV is off. And we added these little white bezel snap-on things on the outside of the TV. And what's cool about those is that it makes the TV match the other pictures on the wall, since they have some other ones with white frames. And it just looks like another picture on this gallery wall, which I wish I could take credit for. My wife designed all of it, and I think she did a really good job. My favorite automation here on the TV is when we're watching it and someone walks up to our front door. The video doorbell, if it detects a person, will display a notification on top of whatever we're watching on the TV. And what's really cool is that it will be a picture, so we can see if it's a package or if it's someone just putting a flyer on our door. That way we know if we need to get up and answer the door or not. When it comes to lighting in here, everything is a dumb LED bulb in the ceiling, and it's controlled by a smart light switch that we put in. And the reason we went with smart light switches and not smart bulbs is, one, cost, because it's way less expensive to use smart light switches. And it's way more family friendly to use smart light switches because anyone can use them. Plus, you can automate them still. We have our lights automatically turn on around dinner time, and then they automatically turn off when it's bedtime. So I pretty much never touch a light switch. Also, the lights in here automatically dim when it's the kids' bedtime so that we can finally relax once the kids go down, which is usually a little bit later than they should be, but we're working on it. And over here is another way we control our lights is with a motion sensor. We kind of have a love-hate relationship with the motion sensors with our family. You know, when all the lights are off and someone walks in here, the motion sensor works great, turns on the lights. But if we're watching TV and someone gets up and all the lights turn back on, everyone gets a little frustrated. So there's an easy way to disable this motion sensor that my wife found out. Just flip it around. Yeah, my wife's kind of a pro when it comes to disabling smart tech around our house. I don't know if that's a good thing. So over on this side of the room, we have an Echo 4th Gen on a battery base. And I thought it would be a good idea to kind of hide it since we already have an Echo Show on the other side of the room. But turns out you can't really see if you trigger it by your voice. So it's not the best spot. I'm gonna probably have to move it. But we really do like the battery base. We just unplug it and we can bring it to the backyard to listen to music, and we use that all the time. We have two big sliding glass doors back here, and on them are Ring contact sensors. And we really like the Ring alarm system because it doesn't need a monthly fee. So on all the exterior doors, we have Ring contact sensors for the alarm system, but also for automations. Say, for example, our kids want to go play in the backyard around nighttime. They can just open up the door and those contact sensors will trigger an automation that will turn on all the backyard lights for them. And then when they're done playing and everything, all we have to do is just press this smart light switch to turn everything off. So that's been really family friendly to control the lights back there. And we did a whole backyard tour that you can go check out in a video we did recently. And I'll link all those down in the description. All right, now let's move on to the next room, which is probably my favorite room in the whole house, and it's our theater room. We have a 120-inch screen with a short throw 4K projector, and it is so much fun to watch movies and play games in here. We have a Dolby Atmos system with speakers in the ceiling and speakers in the front with a dead-end receiver. We're also using an Xbox Series X for games and media. We have a bunch of smart lighting in here, which my kids love, but I might love a little bit more. And the way I control everything is with this little tablet connected to this seat. It has this dashboard that basically runs Amazon routines that can control everything. Since everything is smart in this room, except for the projector. It's technically smart, but it doesn't really work well. So I added a Broadlink hub that can send the remote's IR signals to it so I can automate the projector. That way, the little tablet, I can just press one button on it and it will turn everything on, including the projector, the sound, the lights, all of it. And then when it's time to watch a movie, I press another button, all the lights change, and then one more button, it will turn everything off. So it's super easy to use. We also have some Lutron shades in here that will black out everything, as well as some switchbox curtains up here that will close this doorway, and it can make it nice and dark in here. It's a really fun room, and we did a whole video on it if you want to see more about the lighting and the chairs and all of that in there. Now let's move on to the kitchen. And in here we have another motion sensor, and I really love this motion sensor, especially here in the kitchen, because it doesn't take up any counter space since it plugs right in, so you don't have to worry about batteries either, which is so nice. And what's really cool is it has an RGB light for notifications. So right now it's lit up red, and that means our robot vacuum has gone around and cleaned, and I need to empty the dustbin. So after I empty the dustbin, I can just open up this drawer, and there's a hidden button, and I can turn off that light. Over here we have an Echo Show 15, and I love how big this display is. It's not perfect, and we just did a review on it. You can see the display no matter where you're sitting or standing in this kitchen. I think bigger smart displays are where things are going to in the future. Now over here is an Ecobee thermostat. I love the Ecobee thermostats for how much you can customize them. They're not for everyone, like Nest thermostats and Honeywell thermostats are great because they're easy to use, but for me, the Ecobee thermostat is the best one. Over here, we have a Breadbox, and you could probably guess what's inside. It's what keeps our kids alive. They're iPads. Yeah, our kids need these to live every single day. And we needed a good spot to store their iPads and charge them. So Allie had the idea to buy this Breadbox. It's really inexpensive off Amazon. And I just drilled a hole in the back to put the charging cords through. And it's worked really great. So over here, we have a hidden Raspberry Pi Zero behind these little containers. And we're using the Raspberry Pi Zero for a program called Room Assistant. Room Assistant is a really cool program that uses Bluetooth on different devices like my phone, and it can run automations based on what room I'm in. So if you want to hear more about that, let me know down in the comments because I could do an advanced automation video. All right, now we're moving on to the pantry. Yeah, we're going into the pantry. And as you can see, the lights automatically turn on, and it's using this motion light switch right here, and it's not smart. And not every light switch in the house has to be smart. This one just needs to turn on the lights when we walk into the pantry to get food and turn off the lights when we're out. So it works perfectly, and we have a few of these throughout the house. On the ceiling, we have a UniFi Wi-Fi 6 long-range access point, and we have a few of these in our house as well, and the Wi-Fi in our house is amazing. Down here is a doggy door, and yes, that is automated as well. We have a motion sensor in there for Luna, and whenever she goes out at night, the lights outside will automatically turn on for her because Luna's kind of scared of the dark. We're also using that motion sensor to make sure Luna goes outside and uses the potty enough times during the day, because if it's been about 5 hours and she hasn't gone outside, she'll hear this.
Luna, go potty, you lazy ball of fur.
All right, moving on to the laundry room. As you can see, the lights automatically turn on as well with another motion light switch. That way, if you're carrying a bunch of laundry, you don't have to turn on the lights. We have smart washer dryer, as you would expect, that can send announcements when the washer is done. There's also an automation when the washing machine starts, it turns on a smart switch that controls an exhaust fan in the ceiling because we have a lot of electronics in here and we don't want to get it too humid when the washing machine and dryer are going. There's a lot going on with this server rack. Basically, all the Ethernet cables from all over our house come into this one point and plug into this network switch. And we have an Ethernet cable or port in almost every single room, as well as PoE cameras outside of our house. And all of those cameras, including our doorbell, which is Wi-Fi, connect to this UniFi Dream Machine Pro. And that has a hard drive inside and can record 24/7 footage. There's also a few vacuums in here. The Dyson V10 Animal Plus that we just picked up on Black Friday, and that thing works great. We also have a robot vacuum that's automated to run when everyone is away from the house. When all of our phones disconnect from Wi-Fi, it will trigger an automation that will also start the robot vacuum. And then when we come home, it sends it back to the dock. And what's really nice is that the robot vacuum has cameras in front of it so it can avoid objects. But sometimes, well, a lot of the times my kids leave tons of stuff on the ground and it can get stuck. So when that happens, I'm not even mad. I'm just impressed at how much my kids can destroy in one day. Here in the hallway, we have a few brilliant light switches that we're using the motion sensors to turn on the lights. We also use the brilliant light switches to quickly make changes to our smart home as well. There's some Z-Wave and Zigbee extenders right here because this is kind of the middle of our house. And the Zigbee extender is just a smart outlet that's not plugged into anything. That works really well to extend the range of the Zigbee signal. The front window right here is smart. It's using just this little smart wand, and it's automated to open up in the morning and close right before sunset. There's some smart outlets right here that control all of our porch lights, and those will turn on at sunset and then turn off when we're going to bed. And then if it's really late at night, someone comes up to our front door, there's an automation that will turn on those front porch lights from the doorbell. So that way we can see who's there and maybe even scare off anybody if they weren't supposed to be there. All right, now let's go check out the garage. We have a ring contact sensor on here as well. And my favorite part of the garage is the lights that automatically turn on. As you can see, it's really bright in here, and they're a nice white light, and they just light up the whole garage and make it feel like kind of like this shop that you want to hang out and work out here. And they're automated with a smart outlet that's just plugged right up there in the ceiling. So when any of the garage doors open, all these lights turn on. It's really, really nice. And over here, this garage is still a work in progress, but we have an Echo Dot to listen to music and a Wisecam B3 to keep an eye on things. We also have 3 Tesla Powerwalls out here, and these things are awesome because they can power our entire house, even our 2 AC units if the grid is down. And we use these with our Tesla solar panels on our roof. And we did a whole video on the Tesla Powerwalls and solar panels that you can go check out after this video. So in the master bedroom, we have a contact sensor up on the door that we have also on the other bedroom doors as well to run automation so that if you have to go get a drink in the middle of the night, it will turn on these hallway lights. And we also have a motion sensor in here, as you can see by the light just turning on. It's on the bookshelf as well, similar to that family room. And all the lights in here, again, are Lutron switches, as well as the shades. They're smart shades that can wake me up in the morning, which my wife's not a huge fan of. What's cool is these lights that are controlled by Lutron, as well as these Lutron shades, have these little Pico remotes, and you can put those somewhere and easily control them anywhere in the room. So we have some in my wife's nightstand, and that way she can control the lights and the shades very easily. We also have a mounted TV that's kind of far away from our bed, so we're using the Echo Dots on our nightstands as speakers for the TV. That way we don't have to blast sound across the room and wake up everyone in the house at night. And before you're like, whoa, you have Echo Dots listening to you in your bedroom, don't worry. We also have a Google Home display also listening as well. So I'm using the Google display to kind of control everything from my side of things. And I have a Withings sleep sensor underneath my mattress to keep track of my sleep, as well as run automations if I'm getting into bed or getting out of bed. We also have this Echelon bike that I hack the screen so it can display Netflix or YouTube. It's basically like an Android tablet now. And I have this old Android phone that controls the bike. Now let's move on to the bathroom. As you're gonna see, the lights automatically turn on from a motion sensor that's plugged in right above a mounted Echo Dot. And the Echo Dot we listen to when we're getting ready or showering. This motion sensor is awesome because it's like a 6-in-1 sensor. It has humidity, light, and a bunch of other things. And it can plug in for power so you don't have to worry about batteries, which is super convenient. The motion sensor also turns off the lights if it does not detect motion. And you might be wondering, what if someone is showering? Well, there's an override to stop that from happening. So if the shower light or the shower exhaust fan is on, then the motion detection will not turn off the lights. I'm using a bunch of smart dimmer switches for this bathroom, and these ones are from Casa, and throughout the house I'm mainly using Lutron, but I wanted to see if these inexpensive Casa Wi-Fi dimmer switches would work well, and surprisingly they do, so I recommend these things. All right, before we head into the office, there's a smart light out here that will turn red whenever I'm in a meeting. And it does this automatically using my Google Calendar. Anytime it sees the word meeting in a calendar event, that way my family knows that I'm probably on a call if the light's red. In the office, we have a lot of smart lights like these Nanoleaf wood panels that look amazing, as well as some IKEA smart shades that are connected to the SmartThings hub. And we have a few other hubs in here, like the HomePod Mini that uses Thread, as well as a Bond bridge. And that Bond bridge is pretty cool because it turns all of our RF fans in our house smart. I highly recommend Bond if your fans already use a remote to make them smart. And then we also have a Broadlink button that can control everything. So it's just mounted right here, and you can press a button to turn everything off, or you can press a button to turn everything on or change some different scenes. On my desk, I have a Nest Hub display, which I like a lot better than the Echo Shows. And I demoted my Echo Show to the corner because it was showing me way too many advertisements and self-promotions. To get my studio, check this out. There's a handle that you can't open unless you scan your fingerprint, and then it opens. It's pretty sweet. I like it because we have a lot of expensive camera gear and it helps keep my kids out. Over in the corner, we have another IKEA shade, as well as an IKEA Sonos lamp with a LifeX candle bulb inside. And that LifeX candle bulb is awesome because it can display multiple colors at the same time. We got another Nest Hub display, floating light bulb, some Govee light strips in the corner, a bunch of LifeX lights. And behind me, we have some Govee wall lights. Thank you so much for hanging out with me around my house. Believe it or not, we're going to be adding more smart home devices to our house throughout the year, so make sure you're following the channel. Thanks for watching.
Why is there bread in the iPad box?
Actually, I was thinking we could take a break today from iPads.
Oh, great. You can play with me for the next 12 hours until bedtime.
Yeah. Here you kids
Wait,
go.
what? Oh.
Here, just go play.
Yay!